Imagine a world without banks, no more waiting in lines, no more ridiculous fees, no more worrying about your money disappearing overnight. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it might not be so far-fetched. The financial world is changing faster than ever, and it's all thanks to digital assets. You know, things like Bitcoin and online wallets. This isn't just about tech geeks anymore. This stuff is going mainstream, and it's shaking things up big time. We're talking about a potential revolution in how we handle money. Forget everything you thought you knew about banks and finance. The future is digital, and it's closer than you think. Are you ready to ride the wave or get left behind? Digital assets. Sounds complicated, right? But let's break it down and make it simple. At its core, a digital asset is anything that exists in a digital format and comes with the right to use. But it's simpler than you think. Think of it like this. Instead of carrying cash or using your debit card, you're using digital tokens to pay for things. These tokens can be stored on your smartphone or computer. These tokens can be cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or even digital representations of real-world assets like stocks or bonds. Imagine having your entire investment portfolio right in your pocket. Remember those online games where you could buy virtual gold or items? It's kind of like that, but with real-world value. You can trade, sell, or hold on to these digital assets just like you would with physical money or stocks. It's kind of like that, but with real-world value. Digital wallets are the key here. They store your digital assets securely and allow you to manage them with ease. You can store these digital assets in digital wallets, kind of like online bank accounts, but way cooler and often more secure. These wallets can be accessed from anywhere in the world, giving you unprecedented flexibility. The best part? You're in control. You decide how to use your assets, when to use them, and where to use them. No middlemen, no unnecessary fees. No more banks dictating what you can and can't do with your money. Imagine the freedom of being able to transfer money instantly to anyone, anywhere, without waiting for bank approval. Digital assets give you the power to be your own bank. Pretty cool, huh? You can invest, save, and spend your digital assets just like traditional money, but with more control and fewer restrictions. And it's not just about cryptocurrencies. Digital assets can include anything from digital art and music to virtual real estate and beyond. The possibilities are endless. As technology advances, the range of digital assets continues to grow. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and other emerging technologies are creating new opportunities for digital ownership and investment. The future of digital assets is bright and full of potential. By understanding and embracing these new forms of value, you can stay ahead of the curve and make the most of the digital revolution. So the next time you hear about digital assets, remember, it's not just Bitcoin. It's a whole new world of possibilities waiting to be explored. Dive in and discover the future of finance today. Let's be honest, dealing with banks can be a major pain. From the moment you step into a bank, you're often greeted with long lines and a sense of dread. The atmosphere is usually tense, with people anxiously waiting their turn, hoping the process will be quick and painless. But more often than not, it isn't. The fees, the paperwork, the endless waiting, it's a never-ending cycle of frustration. You have to fill out form after form, and each one seems more complicated than the last. And let's not forget the fees. There's a fee for everything: maintenance fees, transaction fees, overdraft fees. It feels like you're being nickel and dimed at every turn. It's enough to make anyone want to pull their hair out. The stress of dealing with traditional banks can be overwhelming. You find yourself buried under a mountain of paperwork, trying to make sense of it all. And just when you think you've got it figured out, there's another form to fill out or another fee to pay. Not to mention the feeling that you're stuck with whatever they throw at you. You often feel powerless, like you have no choice but to accept the terms and conditions, no matter how unfair they may seem. It's a frustrating and disheartening experience. Remember that time your bank charged you an outrageous fee for overdrafting by a few bucks? It's infuriating. You try to be careful with your money, but one small mistake, and you're hit with a hefty fee. And when you try to get it resolved, you're met with long hold times and unhelpful customer service. Or when you had to wait days for a simple transaction to go through, it's like time stands still when you're waiting for your money to be available. You check your account repeatedly, hoping for a miracle, but the wait seems endless. It's incredibly frustrating, especially when you need the money urgently. Yeah, those were not fun times. The constant frustration and stress can take a toll on your mental health. You find yourself dreading any interaction with your bank, knowing that it's likely to be a hassle. It's a never-ending cycle of disappointment and annoyance. Traditional banks are often slow, expensive, and frustrating to deal with. The inefficiency is mind-boggling. You spend hours waiting in line, only to be told that you need to fill out more forms or pay more fees. It's a never-ending cycle of frustration and expense. And let's not forget about the risk of fraud and identity theft, which seems to be higher than ever these days. You constantly worry about the security of your personal information. Every time you hear about a new data breach, you wonder if your information is safe. It's a constant source of anxiety. Honestly, who needs that kind of stress in their life? It's time to look for better alternatives. There are new, innovative financial solutions out there that can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. It's time to say goodbye to the headaches of traditional banking and embrace a better way to manage your money. Enter Fintech, the superhero of the finance world. Fintech stands for financial technology, and it's here to save the day. Think of it as the cool younger sibling of traditional banking. It's all about using technology to make our financial lives easier, cheaper, and more secure. We're talking about apps that let you send money instantly, invest in the stock market with just a few taps, and even get loans without ever stepping foot in a bank. Fintech companies are all about innovation and putting the power back in the hands of the people. They're challenging the status quo and forcing traditional banks to step up their game. And honestly, it's about time. Now, let's talk about cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies have been making waves in the financial world for over a decade now. They are digital or virtual currencies that use cryptography for security, making them difficult to counterfeit or double spend. Unlike traditional currencies issued by governments, cryptocurrencies operate on technology called blockchain, which is a decentralized ledger of all transactions across a network of computers. These are digital currencies that use cryptography for security. This cryptographic security is what makes cryptocurrencies so unique and trustworthy. Each transaction is verified and recorded on the blockchain, ensuring transparency and security. This means that once a transaction is recorded, it cannot be altered or deleted, providing a permanent and tamper-proof record. They're decentralized, meaning they're not controlled by any government or financial institution. This decentralization is one of the key features that attract people to cryptocurrencies. It means that no single entity has control over the entire network, reducing the risk of corruption or manipulation. Instead, control is distributed among all the participants in the network, making it more democratic and resilient. Think of it like the Wild West of finance, but with a lot more potential. The world of cryptocurrencies is still relatively new and evolving, much like the early days of the internet. There are risks and uncertainties, but also immense opportunities for innovation and growth. Just as the internet revolutionized communication and commerce, cryptocurrencies have the potential to transform the financial landscape. Bitcoin is the most famous example. Created in 2009 by an unknown person or group of people using the name Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency and remains the most well-known and widely used. It introduced the concept of a decentralized digital currency and paved the way for the development of thousands of other cryptocurrencies. It's like digital gold, but even more divisible and easier to transfer. Bitcoin is often referred to as digital gold because of its limited supply and store of value properties. Unlike gold, however, Bitcoin can be easily divided into smaller units, making it more practical for everyday transactions. Additionally, Bitcoin can be transferred quickly and securely across the globe, without the need for intermediaries like banks. You can use it to buy things online, send money to friends and family, or even invest in the future of finance. Many merchants now accept Bitcoin as a form of payment, and it can be used to purchase a wide range of goods and services. Additionally, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are increasingly being seen as investment assets, with the potential for significant returns. By investing in cryptocurrencies, individuals can participate in the growth of this new financial ecosystem. Cryptocurrencies are still in their early stages and they can be volatile. The value of cryptocurrencies can fluctuate widely in a short period, making them a high-risk investment. This volatility is partly due to the relatively small market size and the speculative nature of the market. However, as the market matures and more people adopt cryptocurrencies, it is expected that the volatility will decrease. But they represent a fundamental shift in how we think about money and power. Cryptocurrencies challenge the traditional financial system by offering an alternative that is more transparent, secure, and accessible. They empower individuals by giving them more control over their own money and financial transactions. This shift has the potential to democratize finance and reduce the power of centralized institutions. They give us the freedom to transact without intermediaries, and that's a pretty big deal. By eliminating the need for intermediaries like banks, cryptocurrencies can reduce transaction costs and increase efficiency. This can be especially beneficial for people in developing countries who may not have access to traditional banking services. In this way, cryptocurrencies have the potential to promote financial inclusion and empower people around the world. So, are banks going the way of the dinosaurs? It's a valid question. With the rise of digital assets and fintech, traditional banks are facing some serious competition. But don't count them out just yet. Many banks are starting to adapt and evolve. They're investing in new technologies, partnering with fintech companies, and even launching their own digital currencies. They're realizing that they need to change with the times or risk being left behind. The future of finance is all about collaboration and innovation. Traditional banks and fintech companies will need to find ways to work together to create a more inclusive and accessible financial system for everyone. Okay, so you might be thinking, this is all interesting, but how does it affect me? Well, here's the thing. This shift towards digital finance is going to impact all of us, whether we like it or not. It's going to change the way we bank, invest, and even think about money. It has the potential to make our financial lives easier, cheaper, and more secure. But it also comes with its own set of challenges and risks. The sooner we understand these changes, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this exciting new world of digital finance. Ready to dive in? Start here. The best way to understand the power of digital assets is to experience them firsthand. Start by doing your research. Learn about different cryptocurrencies, digital wallets, and fintech apps. There are tons of resources available online and even courses you can take to learn more. Once you feel comfortable, dip your toes in the water. Open a digital wallet, buy a small amount of Bitcoin, or try out a fintech app. Remember, you don't have to go all in right away. Start small, learn as you go, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The future of finance is here, and it's in your hands. Want to learn more how to future-proof your finances? Subscribe to the channel, comment below, and share.